I don't think I need to introduce all who are here, the celebrities from the world of classical music, but still I would like to start from extreme right. Mr. Ravi Kiran, great Chitravina from Carnatic music, Ajay Chakravarti, U. Srinivas, internationally renowned mandolin player, and I need not say Ustad Zakir Hussain, who he is, and Balamuli Krishnan, the legendary master of Carnatic music and all over music, and one of the leading sitar players of our country, Pandit Arvind Parikh, who is a rare combination of industrialist and musician, which is very, very rare thing to see. And on the next generation, great singer Sudha Raghunathan, and the famous Rajan and Sajan Mishra of Banaras, the leading vocalist of Hindustani style. So this is a rarely, very, very rare occasion. So I think this is the first meeting, and we are going to have many more meetings possible. But this in itself is a historical moment that all of us got together today to discuss about the situation of music in our country and the related matters, like the role of All India Radio. Nowadays we have got FM radio and all kinds of radios, but All India Radio was once upon a time the only medium for the classical musicians to be presented, to be heard all around the country and outside India. So what are the problem areas with that? We discussed that. Archives which are there with All India Radio of great masters of past generation, last century, and matter related with that. Then Doordarshan and other electronic media, the private channels and all that. Then musicians' welfare. All these are so many matters, and we are going to make a representation to the government of India and maybe to the corporate world, which concerns the whole area of classical music in our country and the platform for the younger generation, the well-being and the medical aid to the ailing musicians. All these matters in nutshell were discussed, and it's very happy to know that we had agreed on these matters, and we will be making a representation to the government of India and all the bodies concerned. And once that is done, we will come back to you and share with you what is the reaction of the government and the corporate world and what is happening next. So in brief, this is what we discussed. So if you have got questions, you can ask me. Whatever the matters, the corporate sponsorship, for example, to the classical art forms, great areas regarding that.
So when we talk about particularly to that part, that's why it was there.
We are not at the moment trying to discuss how the music is played by musicians or the presentation of it by the artist or so on. We are a group of artists who have come together to find a way to be able to first of all ensure that our legacy is left to us intact, and then to ensure that the future of Indian music, and this is not in terms of performance of it, recording of it or so on, but the future of Indian music regarding support to the artists is created in such a way so that their future is assured. They get the basic help or proper medical, etc., etc. And so we are not talking about just whether we want to dictate dictate to an artist or anything how to perform and what to do. That's not the issue here. I think I would like Arvind Parikh to expand on that a little bit more.
Well, as Zakir bhai very appropriately and effectively explained, we are not talking in terms of musicality per se. What we are talking about is essentially the trends that we see today to ensure that our ancient traditions are properly preserved. In no way, we all believe that our roots of our classical music are very, very deep. But at the same time, it's felt by seniors who are sitting on this table that we are at a crossroads. And if we are at crossroads, I think great musicians of our country need to sit together and give their considered thoughts as to what needs to be done. And that's what Shivji explained in so effective manner.
But वो कौन सी कुछ बातें रही होंगी that prompted such senior artists in the country to come together कि एक ज़रूरत महसूस हुई कि कुछ बातें कुछ मुद्दे हैं जो गवर्नमेंट तक पहुंचने चाहिए आप लोगों के?
First of all, this is a catalyst group, and we will throw the ideas what we feel should be done. And for example, as I mentioned, what is the role of media, which includes radio and television and newspapers, print media. For example, there was a time, I'm talking particularly about Mumbai, the English newspaper used to cover all the concerts of Indian classical music, used to review that, which is happening still now, like Hindu is one newspaper which is regularly giving space to the art about music and other things. There are newspapers in the east, like in Calcutta and other places. But in Mumbai, this thing has not been happening, particularly in English news media. So factors like that, such kinds of things, that is what we are discussing, and we want to, what way we can suggest what should be done. So these are certain factors.
There were copyright issues, even in playback music, even in the industry. Some keep getting the money that they deserve, where there are certain group of singers, artists who don't get the money that they should, that they deserve. Is it also going to, are you also going to be putting this up in front of the government, the money issue?
I don't think this is a kind of problem which musicians are facing, that they are not getting money for which they have worked or performed.
But there may be an issue about, contractual issues of invite a radio station inviting the artist to perform on a regular basis, or Doordarshan providing contracts for artists to present their concerts on a regular basis. All these things we need to look at, and whether it's sufficient or enough representation is there of this kind of music in these areas, and that's one of the things that we discussed. And I have to frankly say at this point that the idea is to let you know that we've all come together to see if we can in some way make better the life of classical musicians or musicians in general in this country. But at the same time, because this has been our first meeting, it is very important that we take our findings and discuss it with the proper representative of our governments or corporations or something, before we can actually disclose to you the whole detail of what it is. It would not be appropriate to tell you something and then whoever we're going to meet and discuss with, finding out through the media that this is what we intend to do, it would not be fair to them. So frankly speaking, we're going to have to keep it at a more how would you say, on surface level. The whole idea is to somehow, in a nutshell, make the life, whether it's through welfare provided or medical insurance provided or insurance provided or in any way concert platforms or representation in the government, the media, the radio, the television. There are many elements here which need to be looked at and somehow made slightly better than they may be at this point. And so we are hoping that this group of musicians because of their collective strength and visibility, would be able to push through ideas that may help to bring us to our goals and that. I would have to tell you that this plan or this idea of us coming together was initiated by Shivji and Arvind Parikh, and then we came into this, and there are many points, and this is the first meeting that we've had, and you know that we all travel and we perform a lot, and it's difficult for everybody to come together, but we are hoping that pretty soon there will be results, because this meeting was very, very, I would say, encouraging, and a lot was achieved. And maybe Shivji or Arvind Parikh can say what are we looking at in terms of time span.